and gentlemen, here we are on Clear Lake, the last tournament of the year, and these guys were walking up in second place, down by 9 points for Angler of the Year. Looking at it right now, and I've done the math, it looks like, yes, it looks good. These guys are going to take back-to-back Anglers of the Year, which they were not leading going into it, but the door was left open by the other team. They didn't have as good a day as they'd like, but I got the team of
Igor
and Andrey.
These guys did really, really well today. Andrey, you guys are consistent. You're not smoking the field, you're just consistent. What makes a good, consistent angler for Angler of the Year?
The teamwork. What goes on a boat stays on a boat. And it's better than Vegas. So yeah, I mean, it's basically, I mean, good planning, I mean, good execution, basically trust in each other, and I mean, doing all the work simultaneously pretty much. I mean, be that, I mean, somebody is catching a fish and another person is netting a fish, I mean, it have to be executed perfectly. And that's what we've been doing for the past couple of years.
Well, it has been working. Anything you want to add to that? Because teamwork is a thing. If you don't have the right partner where they don't trust you and they don't know where you're going to pick a place to go, you don't feel like that's the right place. You've got to believe in your partner.
No, 100%. Partnership is a big deal to do well and do consistently good. Communication is another key. I mean, you have to communicate, you have to let your partner know what you're doing, why you're doing it sometimes. And again, you have to trust each other. Again, like Andrey said, sometimes it doesn't go well for one of us, and you gotta keep your head up, continue grinding, and have faith in what we're doing. And sometimes, again, that's exactly what you have to do. And time on water, I don't think anything can replace time on the water. Time on the water makes a big difference, and I try to put in my time, and again, I think that's what gives us the upper hand sometimes.
Well, awesome. Anybody you want to thank?
Oh, my whole family, I mean, for supporting me. I mean, you guys, I mean, for making a great show over here. Definitely my partner. I'm not sponsored by anyone, but I mean, a lot of few things maybe I mean, a lot of people don't even use. You know, but that's, I guess, what they did.
Nice, nice. Anybody you want to thank?
Yes, absolutely. First and foremost, I have to thank my family. I think I have the biggest fan club, best supporters. My wife is 110% with me doing this every event, every time I need to go out, and she sacrificed a whole lot for doing that. Of course, all my kids, every time, again, they give me props. Sometimes pre-fishing doesn't go my way. They continue reminding me that I can do well, and that makes a big difference. I do want to thank Mike at Boat Masters. To do consistently well, you need to have a well-running boat, good running engine, and Mike at Boat Masters takes care of all my needs. I mean, he's seen my boat and engine every 50-60 hours on the clock, and it's always a pleasure to be there. And of course, I have to thank all my sponsors, Mercury Marine, Powell Rods. I mean, that's the only rods I use, and I have to say, I haven't lost many fish in this couple of years, and I think a lot of it has to do with the right rod in your hand. And again, I can't thank Keith at Powell Rod enough. Bob's Machine, boat to stern protectant, rod glove, Kitech, just to name a few. I couldn't done it without them. It's a great support I got. And of course, I have to thank our club, Santa Clara Bass Busters. We fished with that club for 7, maybe going on 8 years, and that's where I got my start at the tournament fishing. That's where I learned how to fish tournaments, and it's a great experience. Again, just kind of getting into it. It's a great group of guys, and again, we get good number of boats every month for these tournaments. COVID didn't make it easy, but we still have people show up and fish in club tournaments, and there's a lot to learn from the other guys in the club, and it was definitely helpful. And again, my partner. Communication and teamwork is, without it, we can't do this consistently. And I want to thank him. About 8 or 9 years ago it was, he actually did a project at my office. He done some wiring, and probably 6 months later the guy calls me. We didn't even talk other than, again, that job. And he says, Igor, you know, I still have your number from the work I did, so I went ocean fishing and I'm looking to buy some rods. I heard you go out fish. Can you point me in the right direction? What rods should I get? My answer was, I frankly haven't been ocean fishing. I go fishing in freshwater for bass. And he's like, oh, B.A.S.S, okay, what is that? So I explained to him, and back then I was fishing Delta a lot. And I said, you know what, I can't tell you what rods to get. Why don't you come with me? I'll take you out, and I'll give you a couple rods, I'll give you a couple baits. But you have to give me 2 promises. One is you'll never have me tie your bait for you. You need to learn how to tie a bait on your own. And second is you can't make me cast your baits. If you're good on that, again, I'll take you out. You can use my rods, and you can feel for yourself what you want to get and what you want to do down the line. And I took him on Delta, and I think within half an hour into our day, he hooked onto 2, probably 3.5 pound bass, and he was hooked for life, it looks like. And ever since, we spent a lot of time fishing together, and again, it's always fun. So I definitely appreciate this partnership.
That's awesome to hear, man. I tell you what, Anglers of the Year in the Northern Division.
B.A.S.S Tournaments is all about taking care of our partners and our anglers. Come out and join B.A.S.S Tournaments.